Hello, and thank you for attending today's webinar, Revolutionize Your Fulfillment and Grow with Walmart Marketplace. My name is Courtney Hager, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Partnerships for the Omnichannel and Fulfillment business here at Flexport, and we are so excited to have you join us for another webinar in our series. We have a great agenda for you today, but before we begin, let's cover a few housekeeping items. On your screen, you will see a sidebar to the right of the main stage. If at any time you need assistance during the live webinar, please message us in the help chat located on the sidebar. You can also ask questions via the Q&A tab on the sidebar. Time permitting, at the end of the presentation, we will answer a few audience questions, so be sure to get those in early. In the menu above your screen, you have two tabs. In the first tab, you can download a copy of today's slides. And in the second tab, there's a brief feedback survey for this webinar. We love your feedback, so please fill that out before exiting the webinar. Now, a brief legal note. Please keep in mind that all information provided in this session is based on the situation at this current time and may not be customized to your specific business requirements. We always recommend you reach out to a Flexport expert to discuss your particular situation, and we will provide our contact information to get in touch during this presentation. Now, I'd love to introduce our speakers today. Again, I always say myself, Courtney Hager. I am joined by Darby Megan, Head of Sales for the Fulfillment Omnichannel business here at Flexport, as well as Tom Davis, Manager of Strategic Partnerships for Walmart Marketplace. So we have a jam-packed agenda, so I'm going to dive right in. First, I'm going to start off with a brief introduction of Flexport and our partnership with Walmart. Then I will hand it over to Tom, who will take you through an overview of Walmart Marketplace, how to start selling, and the benefits of selling with Walmart. After Tom, Darby will join and share with you more benefits of partnering with Flexport and how to connect your Walmart Marketplace storefront to the Flexport Seller Portal. We will then wrap with Q&A for both Flexport and Walmart. If you've tuned into some of our previous webinars, a few of these slides might be the same, but stick with us because Tom has a ton of fantastic content from Walmart, and this is sure to be a really fun webinar for all. Okay, so diving right in. As many of you know, June marked the one-year anniversary of Flexport making the strategic decision to expand its services by acquiring Shopify Logistics, or as you may have heard it, Deliver. This was one further step towards our mission, which is to make global commerce so easy there will be more of it. The data is clear. Shoppers all over the world are beginning with marketplaces to find and discover products. This is a huge shift in how shoppers discover new products, and marketplaces have actually superseded browsing in store, search engines, brand websites, and even retailer websites. However, it's really critical to understand that when a shopper chooses a marketplace, affordable, fast shipping, along with inventory being in stock, are actually really, really critical when a buyer actually chooses to make a purchase. This is why partnering with a 3PL like Flexport to help sellers manage their supply chain on marketplaces is critical for sales, but also for growth. We are not just a cost center, we're a growth enabler. Tom will share more insights on what Walmart sees firsthand and how fast shipping can actually grow your business. Next slide. Flexport has integrations with 30 plus e-commerce marketplaces, platforms, and B2B retailers. This is really important because what it does is it creates an ecosystem that allows you to grow and scale in as simple as one click. Flexport has actually been supporting Walmart Marketplace sellers for many years, and we've built a number of tools that Darby will share that make selling on Walmart Marketplace really easy. Flexport knows that brands want options on where to sell their products, and right now, this is how we're seeing brands actually grow, by selling in more places. So our goal is to make it as simple as possible to reduce the complexity on your supply chain and increase the places that you sell. Next slide. We do this by managing a single pool of inventory. This allows brands to easily sell both D2C and B2B, or really anywhere you wish to sell. So for example, if you currently sell on D2C with Shopify, we make it easy for you to add an additional sales channel like Walmart Marketplace. A lot of brands we talk to think that this is going to be really complicated because there's additional prep or requirements, or they'll have to split inventories, but we don't accept that. Instead, we're able to use the single pool of inventory, or even your existing inventory, sync your product catalog, prep your inventory, for wherever you wish to sell and ensure you're always in stock. This reduces the complexity and burden on you while empowering you to grow and sell in more places. So if you're thinking about adding a sales channel before peak, let me tell you, it's not too late. We can make this possible. Get in touch with us, and we'll share a little bit more about how we can make that a reality. With that, I'm really excited to invite Tom up to the stage. He's going to share more on how you can get started with Walmart and all the benefits the Walmart Marketplace has to offer your brand.
Love it.
Awesome.
Courtney, thank you so
Thanks.
much. That's a fantastic introduction, and certainly no pressure to carry the torch here, huh? Well, hey, everybody. As Courtney said, my name is Tom Davis. I'm a partner manager here working very closely with the Flexport team, and I'm very excited to be here and chat with you today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. And we do have to go over a bit of a slight legal disclaimer because we know how legal teams like to legal. But obviously that these are information we're going to share is pursuant to some of the confidentiality agreements that we have in place, and ask that you probably don't go and run and post a lot of these things out on social media without express consent. So please take them, learn from them, but maybe don't go distribute them at your whim. With that being said, one of the things that I really love about Walmart Marketplace is this notion that we want to become the marketplace that you and ultimately your customers choose first, so that you become a platform that you can trust the most. Ultimately, that's our mission of the marketplace initiative there, because we fundamentally want to take that neighborhood name brand that you know as Walmart and take it online and allow people to find the items and goods that they know, love, and trust, and be able to get them delivered in a timely fashion. Carol, if you'll go to the next slide, please. And ultimately, as I mentioned before, we are a bit more than a marketplace. So it's this idea that we want to create an ecosystem to share in that fueled growth that we do with somebody like a Flexport by allowing folks to take their inventory, sell in a new channel, to provide that full omni experience, to meet your customers where they are, whether they're shopping directly on your website that's hosted by Shopify, as Courtney called out, or selling on a marketplace like Walmart. We want to help you enable that ecosystem to continue your growth and ultimately meet your customers where they decide they want to shop. That's the beauty of Omni and the beauty of working with somebody like a Flexport. So Carol, if we'll go on. This is something that ultimately I sit and think about probably more than I care to admit here, is this idea that we are a people-led and tech-powered platform. I think one of the things that really separates us in being able to work with our partners like Flexport and our merchants as well, is this notion that we are people-led and tech-powered. Fundamentally, we have the ability to connect with our customers in a more meaningful way, like hopping on calls and getting direct contact with them versus going through maybe a little bit more of a traditional ticketing queue, things along those lines. So I want to call this out specifically because if you do have questions after this webinar, whether for myself on the marketplace side or have additional questions around Flexport, we really truly believe in that people-led connection and are more than willing to hop on calls to join and answer any questions that you have here. And I think that that's what fundamentally makes us different and allows us to grow in a more meaningful way by making these connections with our merchants. And fundamentally, 1 + 1 = 3, right? By working with somebody like Flexport and partnering with them and their ability to offer kind of this omni-channel approach and this single pool of inventory, as Courtney called out, it allows us to win together by working together to empower our merchant to sell on the channels that they find that's best for them. So I will let Darby allude and talk to that in more detail a little bit later on the webinar, but it is something that I want to call out, that by having great partners and great ecosystems like Flexport, right? It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It gives you the ability to take it to that next level to make sure that you can expand into these omni channels in a way that is more meaningful for your company without potentially tying up inventory that's already promised to other channels there. All right, so just like the aisles, the opportunities with Walmart Marketplace are endless. So from an e-commerce standpoint, we've done over $100 billion globally in the fiscal year 2024. We continue to grow 17% in Q4 of last year, which is absolutely amazing. And 45% of Walmart US Marketplace jumped in fiscal year 2024. It's absolutely unbelievable in terms of the growth there. I know obviously there are some preferred marketplaces that we've come accustomed to shopping on, but what we're seeing is Walmart Marketplace is growing at an incredible rate, and there's still a lot of opportunity to hop on and continue to grow. And as I said, expand your omni-channel footprint so you can meet your customers where they are. The other component that I want to call out here is this notion of 4,600 plus US stores combined with the marketplace gives you an opportunity to really unlock these kind of multiple paths for growths in order to find your new customers. Carol, if you'll go to the next slide, there's an interesting tidbit that I really like to call out here. And this is something that absolutely blew my mind when I joined the company a couple months ago, is that 90% of the US population lives within 10 miles of a Walmart store. So you've got an opportunity to really get hands-on and in front of customers, really in their neighborhood areas. And if there's something like you're buying online and leveraging a tool, like for example, the WFS shipping solution, you do have an opportunity to buy online and return in store depending on how your store is set up. So now you're removing the barrier for people to actually having to go find a store and ship it back. They can take it to their local Walmart store to return it. And we're seeing over 250 plus million people shopping in those stores and e-com channels each week. So there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of eyeballs. There's a lot of great opportunity to get your goods in front of a new customer base that you might not have historically had an opportunity to look at based on your existing channels. All right, so how do we look at the super centers and what we like to call our super sellers? As I called out a moment ago, we have 4,600 plus physical retail stores with 90% of the United States population living within 10 miles of there. So what you're doing is you're exposing yourself fundamentally to really, if you want to call it, an unmatched retail infrastructure. It's an opportunity to really move and take advantage of the footprint that we see within Walmart itself and provide that seamless omni-channel customer experience. And so I think when you've got an opportunity to say, with a product like Walmart Plus, where you're able to do same day shipping, 2-day fulfillment, 3-day fulfillment that we'll get into in just a moment, you're really starting to take this kind of mysterious idea of buying and shopping online and having shipped to you and being able to buy online and ship locally from a location that's close to you, which is something that Flexport does very, very well with their logistics network throughout the United States too, as Courtney alluded to with the purchase of Deliver and their amazing footprint that they've got. We'll go to the next slide, Carol. Okay, so here's something that I find is really, really fascinating that I think that we're starting to move the needle on that a lot of other platforms aren't doing yet. So for those of you that are actually in the apparel category, it's one of our fastest growing categories collectively as a whole through the marketplace channel. Obviously, we've got back to school coming up here in the next few months. So if you are looking to add your apparel, backpacks, back to school goods, things like that, now is the time certainly to try to get on the marketplace because the amount of goods sold for back to school is mind-blowing. But I call out apparel specifically because of this notion of kind of a virtual try-on piece. For those of you that were an 80s child like myself and grew up with the 1996 hit classic Clueless, Cher's closet of being able to virtually mix and match clothes and try them on is now a reality. So something to think about as you are exploring new channels is the ability to give your potential customers the opportunity to try these clothes on before they even buy them. If you're doing something like larger goods, like home goods, you've got the opportunity to leverage virtual reality to actually see what that would look like in your space. And then actually take advantage of keyword optimization to help make sure that your products are coming top of mind with enhanced search components. I don't know about a lot of y'all. I myself have started to get into a bit of a health crave living here in Denver in the summertime. So if you're doing things like CPG goods, consumer product goods, or consumer packaged goods rather, you do have the opportunity to enable subscription services to get those running on a monthly basis, which is fantastic. And as I mentioned before, making a much seamless, easier process for returning if need be. Carol, if you'll go to the next slide, please. Alrighty, so for those of you that are maybe not a reseller or a third-party seller, but are the individual brand owners, this is something that I actually really, really am a huge fan of with the marketplace component, and that is the brand shop and our shelf pages. So for those of you that actually own the brand itself, you can do a dedicated brand landing page where you own the experience top to bottom. So whether it's Tom's Trinkets or whatever it may be, I can actually brand that page, have it set up however I want. I can do these curated shelves of individual product portfolios and actually have kind of like maybe a getting started guide that has maybe the top 5 items that you need to people to buy collectively together, or maybe there's an advanced shelf that has a little bit better items or a little bit more upscale or unique items for those that are maybe not so new to your product. This is fantastic in the health and beauty space to be able to have your morning skincare routine all in a package pages versus say like a nighttime routine, which is actually fantastic. And as part of that, with Walmart's entire retail footprint, as well as the marketplace channel opportunities, we do have a robust retail kind of media network is what we're calling it. So it's the idea of allowing you to implement sponsored search. So doing display ads directly on marketplace.com, as well as even purchasing in-store ads to be able to leverage display ads on the TV screens at a Walmart physical retail store. So it gives you a really interesting idea of being able to target sellers on marketplace.com, as well as actually getting more brand awareness available for the individual foot traffics within stores. Carol, if we'll go to the next one. Alrighty, so something that I do want to call out that is very, very new to me, and again, I'm going to play the new guy card there, but is Walmart Marketplace is actually creating a dedicated B2B channel. So if you are selling items, say scrubs, latex gloves, safety equipment for manufacturers, consumables like pen, paper, printing materials, things along those lines. We are actually pushing very heavily into the B2B side of the business. So not just directly going to, say, retail consumers that might be looking for printer paper for their home, but being able to target and sell directly to commercial buyers through the B2B channel is really, really fascinating. And we're also seeing a big uptick in kind of some of these niche and emerging categories. As our marketplace continues to grow, there's lots of room for you to come on board and really kind of own and make a name for yourself in these respective niches. So please, I encourage you to hop on marketplace.com, log in, explore, search for your products. If you find that there's a lack of representation with what you're selling, reach out. We'd love to talk to you and understand how we can help you get on marketplace.com to grow your channels there. If we can go to the next one as well, Carol. So just kind of at a high level, right? Marketplace in a nutshell is working through kind of every touch point that we've got the capability through. It's leveraging something like the sponsored search that I called out with WMC to kind of help expose yourself to a new audience on walmart.com, allowing those merchants to be able to kind of find and understand your product versus others, and giving you the opportunity through our listing quality dashboard to make sure that you're putting your very best foot forward. We leverage a system that we call as kind of like our online listing quality score. And this pretty much says, do you have a lot of great photos? Do you have product videos? Is there a robust description? Do you have a really, really awesome shipping rate capability and things along those lines? So making sure that you're putting your best foot forward for your product and your business representation helps allow you to get to that buy box and win those new customers there. And then as well, by leveraging a tool called Repricer, it'll give you a better idea of how you're sitting in the marketplace compared to others, maybe selling a similar product or item, so you can price accordingly there to help win that buy box there. Alrighty, and then as we talked about a moment ago, this notion of kind of being able to support your customer in terms of this hassle-free enhanced return that I alluded to. So the idea of being able to buy online and return in store, and then ultimately understanding how to optimize your catalog to explore new growth opportunities, whether they be new channels with B2B or offering the subscription services as I outlined as well. So there's a lot of tools that are available for you to onboard onto the marketplace platform itself, optimize, grow, continue to learn, and understand that it is a viable marketplace for you to invest in, as we are quickly becoming the secondary marketplace and a high growth leader for merchants that are looking to expand that omnichannel growth. Okay, so this is something that I love chatting about because obviously I'm a huge fan of Flexport and very excited to be here. So is the logistics side of the business, right? I buy online, I've got to get that product somehow. We know it's got to go through a carrier of sorts. Walmart, obviously with our massive network of 4,600 stores and just the logistics to go into getting items there, have created a Walmart fulfillment service, which would enable you to ship items to Walmart. As somebody purchases online, Walmart can pick, pack, ship on your behalf and get it out to you. Something that's really unique with the way that Flexport works with Walmart is what they called out a moment ago, which is this single pool of inventory. So as you are managing your products and inventory through Flexport, you can have items dedicated to your Shopify channels, your eBay channels, your other marketplace channels, whatever they may be, as well as making sure that you have dedicated inventory slotted for Walmart without taking them away from other channels that you might have sales promos, ad buys centered around. So it's a really awesome way to make sure that your inventory is ready to go, ready to be shipped in a timely fashion as needed. Now, if you're not leveraging a system like WFS and you're like, hey, we're running everything through Flexport, that is fantastic. I do want to call out this notion of this seller fulfilled shipping and just how important the 1 day, 2 day, 3 day shipping options are and how they can help you win that buy box. So Carol, if we'll go to the next slide. So what we're seeing is if you are optimizing for delivery speed, we are a generation, or we are a group of consumers that we want it now. We bought it now, we want it now, we want it tomorrow. So if you can optimize for delivery speed and update your shipping settings to include things like 2 day shipping, 3 day shipping, that really quick turnaround time, you are more and more likely to optimize for the buy box, meaning that high delivery speed with that high on time delivery rate is going to actually help you show above the fold and help you generate better reviews because you're meeting those expectations and thus better sales in return. What we're seeing here just with kind of this notion of Shop Eddies is they've obviously got quite a catalog with 6 figures of items that are in the automotive brand specifically. And what they did is when they started being able to ship them in a more timely fashion and get them to customers quicker, they started seeing a massive rate in growth. And they actually saw a much better uplift in terms of delivery quality, in terms of having that high expectation of being able to get it to their customers quicker. And by working with a great solution provider and somebody like Flexport that can actually meet those needs based on their delivery network, they allow you to control that delivery process, your brand experience, and get those to your merchants in time, which is absolutely fantastic. If we'll go to the next slide. All righty. So for those of you that are interested in getting started, we like to say, let's get ready, let's get set, let's grow, and we'll grow together. If we go to the next slide here, it gives us just a pretty easy way to get going in terms of getting started. What you'll do is you'll head to Walmart Marketplace. You'll click to sign up. We'll take some very basic information from you. What is your name, your website, things along those lines. And as you work through your process, we do need to make sure that we are working with a verified business. So we will ask for your EIN and obviously business registration information. The reason why we do this is it goes through an actual manual review process. We want to ensure that we're keeping the marketplace clear of any fraud, scams, things along those lines. We want to make sure that you are who you say you are. And as a result, we're not maybe at times always the easiest marketplace to get on, but we're maybe not necessarily as curated as some of the marketplaces that are a little bit more difficult to get on. So I think we strike a really great balance of ensuring that we're getting the right merchants on the platform, and we're ensuring that we're reducing fraud as a result of that. And we'll make sure that you're onboarded and reviewed within a timely fashion there. It's very, very simple. And from there, in terms of uploading content, once you are onboarded, we have a handy little video, which I believe is next here, that shows that in terms of managing inventory, things along those lines, it's all done directly through our Seller Center website, which is kind of like your back-end dashboard. It's going to give you updates around shipping times, fulfillment speeds, how's your inventory doing, how's the listing quality, is there anything that needs to be addressed or changed there. You can do things like individual uploads for new products that you're trying out. If you do have spreadsheets that have all of your respective data, those can be uploaded as well. Or you can do bulk uploads through API or by leveraging a solution partner and managing inventory like Flexport and things along those lines. I know I've been talking at you a fair amount. I know there's a fair number of questions that have been kind of coming through, and we'll get to those in a moment. But if I'm not mistaken, Carol, I think it's time to chat with our good friend Darby, who's going to talk a bit more about kind of like really how to leverage Flexport, how to make sure that it is optimized to help you grow and scale, and make sure you are delivering on those promises and expectations of your customers. Is that right, Darby?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. I want to say first and foremost, thanks for the extensive overview of Walmart's marketplace. I don't often feel self-conscious, but you have the hairline, you have the mustache, you have the shacket, and the morning and evening skincare routine. I was Googling on Walmart.com very skincare. There is no virtual try-on for skincare yet, so my glow up is pending. But I appreciate
That is fair. Well, you've got me in the aerodynamics department. You're probably
Yeah.
a half second faster than me, so
Yep.
I love it. But yeah, looking forward to understanding more about Flexport, the capabilities that you're able to introduce to your merchants, how to get everything set up. I do enjoy nerding out on this, and looking forward to hearing how the footprint can help folks grow and scale.
Appreciate it, Tom.
You got it, Jeremy.
With that being said, Friday, I bought a green screen on Walmart.com. It came from a local store that's less than 10 miles. I'm one of the 90% of Americans that live within 10 miles of a store. And I have to say, the less than 2 hour delivery was exceptional. And as I searched for other things for my YouTube career on Walmart.com, they were coming from various sources, whether sellers directly through WFS or even from that same Walmart store. So if your goal is growth in 2024 and 2025, you need to meet customers where they are. And Walmart has proven they can do that. They're a household name. Personally, I grew up on the fudge cookies from Walmart. So I'm a huge fan. If you'll go to the next slide. There's a few ways we can help you engage with Walmart. Our goal is to make it reliable, affordable, and to help you meet your customers where you are. That doesn't mean only shipping for Walmart.com orders directly. It means replenishing WFS on a just-in-time replenishment model. We'll get to that. We can help you easily stock the inventory that you have at Walmart.com from our bulk storage locations. Additionally, it may mean carrying your freight as you fulfill orders for Walmart storefronts. One of the greatest doors to be in across those 4,600 plus locations in America is the Walmart storefront. We're happy to help you move your freight across the ocean as you get those massive POs, have you help manage your replenishments, or even directly help you represent your business. We do a little bit of everything here at Flexport. We are the end-to-end supply chain partners for your business as you are looking to reach those 255 million consumers that shop at Walmart on a weekly basis, whether in-store or online. Carol, if you'll hop to that next slide. Ship anywhere, sell everywhere, grow faster. It's very similar to the Ready, Set, Grow that Tom mentioned, just 6 words more complicated. What that looks like is a single pool of inventory that can go anywhere in America or the world to fulfill for your customers, whether that's e-commerce marketplace, e-commerce direct fulfillment, B2B, getting to those storefronts, or WFS, holding that inventory because you're trying to hit MOQs with your manufacturers to bring down your cost, whether that's prepping it, stickering, labeling, any number of things to make that inventory available for sale, whether that's fulfilling via our parcel network, middle mile with our labels, that replenishment, sweet automation as the AI revolution buzzes onward, returns handling, or even just end-to-end reporting. The good news is as the world becomes more and more complicated, as consumers shop more and more locally, more and more in these big marketplaces where they're discovering most of the products, the partnership between Walmart and Flexport is there, and we're here to help support you with whatever challenges. Similarly, I love that Tom said it's people-led and tech-powered. Here at Flexport, we feel very much the same, and we'd love to chat with you. I know I've offered my email before, and I will be giving that again, dmeegan, MEEGAN, at flexport.com. Unfortunately, they won't let you put a mustache emoji in your email. So if you want to hit me up, I'm happy to chat with you about selling on Walmart Marketplace or any number of other services mentioned here. Next slide, if you don't mind. Our goal is to make it easy. Our goal is to help you. Our goal is to be that partner, whether that's streamlining your end-to-end flow, whether that's getting you access to the selling, or it is using our seller portal for ease of use. Very similar, complementary to the Walmart Marketplace portal. Our goal is that you focus on growing your business, meeting the consumer where they are, and supply chain is something that is either easier because you have the data at your fingertips, or even automated if you're leaning into the services we offer. Next slide. If it's back to school where you are, some schools where I was in Texas, second week of August, others after Labor Day, those lucky children, summertime, we are close to where consumers are, whether we're fulfilling B2B or your Walmart orders ourselves via fast fulfillment. Our network spans across the United States, anywhere where children go to school and are getting ready for back to school. If you're in the apparel space, if you're in the school supply space, if you're in the pencil space, any tech space, back to school is directly upon us. Getting signed up on Walmart Marketplace today, so you can begin that process of approval and submitting your paperwork, is our number one recommendation. Today is better than tomorrow, especially as consumers are starting to look for more and more value buys. We're seeing the uncertainty in the economy. It is something that is becoming more and more present, is Consumers are looking for a value. They're looking in more places. You can search any number of platforms on your phone in seconds to figure out the best value. Your customers are searching today. Help them find on Walmart, like I did for my green screen. Started with a Google search that took me to Walmart. Fast shipping is another thing that Walmart enables. And on those searches, whether on their platform or Google, you need to have your inventory distributed, whether through WFS or our network. So as you prep for that back to school season, consider, where's my inventory and where should it be? Next slide. The next piece, Tom mentioned this, fast fulfillment. We all want it now. Greater than 80% of consumers prefer to shop on a site with a definite delivery. That's because you may be at the lake on Saturday, and if the package arrives, you're not going to get that sweet, sweet dopamine of knowing that that click to deliver happened. So with that being said, the only way you can offer consumers what they want is that you have to offer fast, reliable, out the door time, whether through WFS or through Flexport or any providers. On-time shipping and getting that tracking number to your customer is prime real estate. Make sure that they order it and they get that tracking number quickly. The second one is make sure that that tracking number is reliable and customers get it when they expect it. Gone are the days of 12 plus days delivery via super economy shipping. Customers want it quickly. They see it on social media. They see it on their friends. They're out on the town. They're going to expect it to be delivered in 3 days or less, as well as know what day. That means as sales accelerate, Tom mentioned growing rapidly, 45% increase in sales on that platform year on year. That means you need to have the inventory available and meet your time in the sun. My cat is trying to walk through the camera. He loves a good deal. So as you scale that, the sales on these platforms, having the inventory available is more and more important. Don't miss your time in the sun. As you reach the search engine results page that you are looking for and index in the search algorithms, you need to have the inventory available. And the last one is maybe you do need to slow down deliveries because your stock is running out, and accelerating sales is something that wasn't a consideration. We offer the ability to ship a little slower if you'd like, or lightning fast. Next slide. Now we're going to go through, we saw how easy it is to sign up on Walmart Marketplace, a 3-step process. If you go to the next slide, a video will start. I will try. There's an easy one-click integration. I think it'll start the video if you click one more time. Oh, no. With that being said, it's an integration out of our portal. As you're signed up on Walmart's Marketplace and you are using Flexport Seller Portal, one thing to consider is you can connect that integration in minutes. There's an article on our website, an article on Walmart's website. We are happy to walk you through it, or Tom and team are happy. Choose the mustache you prefer to chat with and reach out directly. You're going to enjoy the conversation either way. What you're seeing now is how we work to simplify just-in-time replenishments to WFS. This is something that has gone above and beyond for merchants. They love it. When you are replenishing your Walmart orders, we're pulling in your sales data, we're pulling in your current inventory position, and we're working to automatically recommend when you should send additional inventory to WFS. It's a little bit of hands off the wheel, but the good news is again, the AI revolution is at your doorstep and knocking on your screen right now. If managing your demand across these sales channels and multiple pools of inventory is something you're struggling with, happy to chat with you about it. But also, again, you're seeing real-time example transfer shipment to the WFS platform, which makes it very easy and streamlined. Next, if you don't mind, slide. The last one is we have the ability to replenish Walmart automatically, but we have also given you the ability to set guardrails, whether that's number of inventory to have as a minimum on hand, whether that's the weeks of coverage, whether that's the percent of inventory you want to hold back from any sales channel so that you can make it available for Walmart orders. The answer is it's configurable supply chain and configurable inventory positions to make sure you're meeting that customer in the moment. Again, as he quoted Clueless in Cher's Closet, I'll quote the 90s Bulls. It wasn't one person, it was a series of people that made the Bulls so successful. So let us be your digital point guard, Scottie Pippen, if you will, and help you set up the guardrails necessary so that you can slam dunk this peak season. Next slide, if you don't mind. I think we're going to be moving to Q&A. One thing, Flexport will be partnering with Walmart Marketplace at the Seller Summit here in another month. 1 month and 1 day from now down in San Francisco. You must be a current Walmart Marketplace seller to attend. So register for both rapidly. There's going to be lots of information on how to succeed on the Walmart Marketplace If you think 45 minutes was a great educational session, this is the PhD course that is waiting for you down in San Francisco. We will be there represented heavily, as well as there with our partners Walmart, to help you be successful this peak season as you get ready to sell in 2024 Q4. Next slide. We are headed to the Q&A. I think we will bring Courtney and Tom back to the stage. You'll get to see two mustaches. Please, it may be overwhelming, but hold your applause. But Q&A.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Darby. Thank you, Tom. First off, I don't know which joke to start with, but I feel a little bit like Veronica Corningstone from Anchorman right now, hosting you both. So we'll see who's the reigning Ron Burgundy. Also, I do have to say the the Cher's Closet reference resonated a little bit more than the Chicago Bulls, but love to see some 90s trends here. Let's jump into some of the Q&A because there's a lot of really great questions. The first is, what is the seller's cost associated with selling on Marketplace? Tom, I'll let you answer this one.
Sorry, do you mind running it back really quickly?
You got it. What is the seller's cost associated with selling on Walmart Marketplace?
Got it. So there is a flat rate commission fee. I want to say off the top of my head, it's 15%, I believe. There are potential opportunities of promotions that are run at various times of the year where it might be discounted rates, say for like 90 days, things along those lines. Collectively as a whole, though, baseline is about 15%.
Awesome.
No monthly
Thank you
fees,
so
anything
much.
along those lines.
The next one is, and this one's for Darby, or perhaps both of you can answer respectively, actually. So, but let's start with Darby on fulfillment, and then Tom, if there's any restrictions that you know of with WFS, we can answer that as well.
Sure.
But what are your package size limitations for fulfillment services?
Great question. It will depend. So fulfillment services, we break it into two categories. For the replenishments, WFS, we can ship pallets, truckloads, etc., to anywhere that can accept it. So when it comes to replenishing WFS, that's their restriction. When it comes to direct items, we do have what's called ship and own container. I can look those up if you want to email me, or I'll grab the email from you. I believe those start above, I'm not even going to guess. So there are ship and own containers. When it becomes oversized, it's required to ship in its own box, simply because overboxing means that there will be air in the package because every item is unique. The second one is we do cap out at 50 pounds due to ergonomics at our warehouses. So if it is gravitationally over 50 pounds, it's a team lift. We're currently not offering that unless it's from our reserve storage distribution product. Tom, are there restrictions on dimensions for WFS?
There are. They are a little bit bigger. So the package dimension sizes are 120 inches, 105 inches by 93 inches. So effectively, keep it 10 foot or less.
You can ship an elephant.
World's biggest mustache.
So long as the elephant weighs less than 500 pounds. So if you do patio goods, home goods, things along those lines, big bulky items, we can certainly service those. I do want to call out that WFS is a unique business unit separate from Marketplace itself. So if you do have maybe some nuanced, granular questions around WFS, more than happy to put my email in the chat for you guys. Reach out. I will do my best to navigate the 1.5 million people that work at Walmart to find somebody that can help get you an answer. But as a whole, yeah, we can help serve some of those bigger, bulkier items.
Awesome. I think that definitely will serve the need for everyday low prices on elephants. So glad we got to clear that up. The next question, which is actually probably a good segue, are all items and products welcome on Marketplace, or are there any product restrictions, Tom?
There are. I'd love to say, if you can pick, pack, ship it, we'd love to take it. But we do have product restriction policies, dangerous goods, sharp items, firearms, things along those lines. Again, if you do have questions about these specific items themselves, shoot me a note. I can very easily get you in touch with our Marketplace sales teams that would be able to best advise on which products are good to go. And then if there are some that might be a little questionable, they can maybe help educate as to potentially why they might be questionable or best practices to get them listed, things along those lines. But generally speaking, controlled substances, restricted items, military, law enforcement, things along those lines are probably going to be a no-go from the start. But again, reach out and we can give you a definitive answer.
Awesome. Makes sense. Darby, you want to build on what Flexports are?
It's perfect. Yeah, I want to add anything that's regulated by international law is something that both Walmart and Flexport are required to follow federal state regulations. One interesting wrinkle that is worth discussing specifically with you is if there's interstate, different states have different regulations on certain goods. Seeds, what's considered an invasive species, may be varied by state. Additionally, CBD is regulated in some instances by state. So there are products that are subject to local regulations that we could go and click into every single regulation across the states. Probably not worth it here. The other one that's worth mentioning is if you ship something that is flammable or potentially hazardous material, even large quantities of hydrogen peroxide are regulated substances. And MSDS is probably the best place to start. Share that with your Walmart partner, share that with your Flexport partner, and we're happy to review any shipping requirements or risks of shipping your product. The last thing I'll say is we're happy to help put stuff in bubble wrap if it's a glass bottle, but it's worth noting things that enter our network should be, quote, ready for the rigors of shipping when it comes to it, simply because packages tumble and are thrown quite a bit in the process of getting to end customers, whether intentional or not. Tom looks shocked by thrown packages.
To be clear,
Yeah,
nobody
I
ever
got one delivered the
intends for
other
that
day
to
that looked
happen.
like a raccoon had gotten into it, and it was one of those ones where it's like, how did this even happen?
Sorry, that was me.
We do our best to raccoon proof. Yeah, that's actually a new service offering. We're looking at raccoon proofing. Next one. Tom, this one's for you. And I think you hit on this a bit, but what are the advantages of selling on Walmart Marketplace versus selling directly on potentially one of your competitor platforms?
Yeah, I'd say in a nutshell, you're meeting your customers where they are. I don't personally shop a ton on eBay, so if you're listing products on eBay, I personally, as a consumer, aren't going to come across it. And so by offering a product, say on Walmart, whereas a channel I might be shopping on, I'm more likely to find your product. So as opposed to trying to spend ads and direct consumers to a shopping experience that you prefer and that you want them to have by extending to various marketplaces, you're now meeting shoppers where they prefer to shop and process your product or purchase your product in an experience that they know, like, and continually go back to.
And to that point, I would say the data we shared, it substantiates that point, right? Like people are looking at marketplaces, and to be clear, marketplaces are different than retailer websites. And so marketplaces are a way that consumers now are really leading in how they look for products, because the assortment, I think, is just so much greater and it's so much more searchable and predictable. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that makes all the sense in the world. Okay, let's keep going through the questions and see. I know we only have a couple minutes left. The next question: we sell branded products. We are the U.S. distributor of these products. Does the brand owner, not based in the U.S., not a Walmart seller, do they need to register the brand, or how does that work for distributors? And I know this is probably a case-by-case basis, but would love to get your thoughts.
Yeah. So if this is unique, so if, for example, if you are in the US and you are the US brand owner, you own the patent, et cetera, no problem. We upload those documents, we review them. Rah, it's yours. Obviously very simplified saying that. This is a very unique case. Candidly, I'd love for you to reach out directly to me and let's get you connected with the marketplace team, because I've not yet personally run across an instance where somebody is the sole owns the sole rights to distribution for that particular product in the United States if they are not the direct brand owner itself. So I don't know if there's something that's called out in the legal agreement that you have that says, okay, this is approved for you to own a brand on marketplace. Maybe they just need a note from the individual brand itself saying, yes, we approve this, rah. So definitely, please follow up with me directly, or if you don't mind, I will grab your information from Courtney and I can reach out after the webinar and we can have that discussion, because this is definitely going to be a bit of a unique case.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tom. Next question. Do products and I think that I'm actually surprised this one wasn't upvoted the most. This question, I think, was predicted to be the most popular question by us. So do products that sell well on Walmart Marketplace have the opportunity to be part of the Walmart's physical store assortment? I think that's like the $1 million question, right?
It is.
That's the dream.
And again, I'll say potentially. I'm not going to say that there's a guaranteed path forward to yes and that there's a guaranteed path forward to no. And I know that that's not the best way to answer that question, but it's the honest answer. We have dedicated teams that are whose sole job is merchandising and finding items to put on the shelf, and items that trend really well on marketplace.com certainly have the potential to be included in those stores, but there's no direct guarantee and there's no direct line that I'm aware of that says, awesome, let me go talk with that team directly. It is very case by case curated basis. So there's very much potential, the opportunity. But in terms of what that process is, it's handled by an entirely different purchasing group. And I wouldn't be able to allude to that process. And I certainly wouldn't want to mislead or misinform there with what that process is.
That makes a ton of sense. With all that being said, I'd say at a macro level, and Darby, I'm sure you have some opinions here too. We work with a number of brands that have scaled and grown over the years. And one of the core ways they do that is they start in marketplace and they sell where they can, and they continue to grow bit by bit. And eventually that does end up turning into in-store physical store sales, whether it be Walmart or elsewhere, but that's essentially how they build that critical mass and that consumer interest in their brand. So I would say, even if there's not a direct pathway, it's such an amazing way to get in front of consumers and to grow your brand and your business really organically, to get the attention, right, of retailers and physical stores. So yeah. And if Darby, feel free to add anything you'd like.
Yeah, it's a great point. I think 10 years ago, the e-commerce trend was D2C and D2C only. Let me own the entire customer journey.
Yep.
We've seen in the last 5
That's
to 7 years, a lot of those brands have changed that strategy pretty precipitously to, I'm going to sell where the customers are. And so one of the key things about selling on marketplace or getting into these brick and mortars is that these customers are shopping where they love to shop, and that experience is somewhat catered to them for that very reason. So access to these customers is very protected because we know the cost of acquiring these customers and servicing them well. So it's a big trend that's shifting, and marketplace is one way to get that data to the purchasers at storefronts. So fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think on that note, I know we're right at time, but I do think also as you're looking for a 3PL partner, finding somebody that can do D2C and B2B, whether it be brick and mortar or e-com, so you have that flexibility to scale as you grow, is ultra critical. So I'm going to, Lori, well, if you want to reach out to us directly, we're happy to answer your question on carriers. We'll be in touch. Darby and Tom, thank you both so much. Excited to be at the Let's Grow Summit just here in about a month.
Yeah.
We'll be bringing a big team from Flexport, and I know Ryan Peterson, our CEO, will be there. So we're super excited to join you all and to partner with Walmart and help sellers grow. So with that, thank you both, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Thanks, Courtney. Thanks, Tom.
So much, y'all.
Have a great day.